I. What just happened there? Did I switch something? Maybe. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. What do we have? Let's do this right now. Because I'm still feeling tired, but I don't have a headache, which is good. Like, literally, I laid down on the floor yesterday after I got done, when I ended early, and I just, like, laid down on the floor. I did nothing. And for, like, 30 minutes, I laid there. I didn't even know 30 minutes had gone by, but I'm like, okay, what time is it? Okay, what time is it? And I'm like, oh my god. So, yeah, it's interesting. Very interesting. I'm trying to think about what I'm gonna react to here. That's that one. It's that one. Over here, I have to go back a little bit. It's still unfortunate because I can't really play anything. We could watch. There's this one that was put up, and it's called The 7 Levels of the Sith. If we're into that. Let's see. You laugh, you don't. Win, but it's this one. I mean, so there is stuff to react to, I just don't know which. Or what is gonna be worth it. Let me see. Nothing there. I would like to play games. Honestly, I'm looking through Steam. I'm basically looking wherever I can to find games that I might possibly play. And I haven't found a single game that I'd want to play that doesn't cost me anything. Like, anything I want to play is gonna cost me, which is kind of unfortunate because I should be able to play games that don't cost, but at the same time, I understand they gotta make their money too. But where? Yeah, always one side. Where is the justice for me to play anything? Like, if I'm trying to do, I wouldn't say walking simulators, it called? Was it called Horror? Waiting on the new James Bond. Dude, that game's supposed to come out later this year, right? It's supposed to come out later this year. I'm pretty sure. Oh shit. Now I gotta look it up. Is it this month? First Light. Oh, yeah, it is this month. It is this month. I forget what the trailer was for that. First Light.
Our first look at 007 First Light on the PS5.
I mean, technically, where is...
Pro, it's been confirmed there is a performance mode at 60 FPS and also a quality mode. Enjoy the footage.
Prepare for liftoff now!
It's kind of giving off Uncharted. That's what it's giving me. It's kind of reminding me of Uncharted. Damn. Honestly, why does this gameplay look good, but I feel like when it actually comes out, it's not going to be as good? I mean, mechanics-wise, it looks really good. Mechanics, the graphics. I mean, he should have been dead right now. Honestly, it does look really good. It does look really good. I just feel like when the game actually comes out, it's gonna be something different from what that was showing. It's like Modern Warfare 2 when that came out, like what, 4 years ago. What they show in the trailer versus how it actually plays out are two different things, and in a way, it was kind of a letdown. But it actually seems really good. But I'm just concerned, genuinely. I just haven't been able to find anything that I could play that'd be worth playing. Like, Steam has kind of been all over the place in the suggestions. I mean, we could do Trust No One. I don't know, maybe I just gotta find something that I would truly enjoy. But what specifically, I have no idea. I'm basically on this brink of... Yeah, the games are good. I mean, there are probably really good games out right now anyway. But at the same time, I'm kind of like... There's nothing out there. Where's the butler? Wait. In The Butler, you assume the role of Deacon, the son of George, a maintenance man who vanished under mysterious circumstances years ago. Haunted by unanswered questions, you spent countless hours searching for him, only to uncover darker truths and unsettling secrets that challenge your grip on reality. Psychological thriller developed solo as a spin-off. The acclaimed horror game Claire develops a gripping narrative that twists and turns its haunting conclusion. It's not about solving cryptic puzzles, but focuses on clever practical use of items. Butler masterfully combines a strong story focus with intense moments of stealth and survival, requiring you to stay quiet, outsmart lurking horrors that await in the shadows. Fully voice acted. Game brings every Whisper Creek step to life. Checkpoint saves throughout. I mean, like I've been really on the horror and thriller games, but I've only been able to do the demos. The ice cream shop? What's that? Let's just do this. I think I'd captured two on a thing. Let me see. Brother, Warzone is kind of in a tough spot right now. And the winning the Warzone streaks has been like I've seen so many people try to do it. Some people have gotten very lucky, others not so much. What's this? Oh. But that is probably like one of the hardest things they've ever given people to do. And I think giving people the opportunity to at least get a 50 Warzone streak camo gets them like it increases their player count and shows that hey, we still have people playing. Oh, I mean, you don't even have to worry about kills. You can get recons, figure out where last zone's gonna be. You can camp out the entire time until maybe what third to last zone, and then you're gonna have to start fighting, give or take. But I think they have, and put it this way, they've had rebirth on winter mode since what, like February, and they should be changing that at some point, but they haven't. Mine's vision from horrors at the door. And if you don't have demons on your team, I mean, you're kind of fucked anyway. Uh, yeah, story games have been my thing recently. Thriller horror games. Do, 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 do. I haven't been able to play anything too crazy just because I'm going off of Wi-Fi and it's just not doing what it needs to, which kind of sucks because there are several games I want to do. Like when GTA comes out, I'll probably have to figure something out. GTA 6, and then there's like some there's I want to do Assassin's Creed as well, but I can't. Assassin's Creed Mirage, and then 1, 2, 3, the rest of the four. What else? Red Dead at least. I want to try, even though it's gonna take me like months. I'd probably want to get back into it. Agreed. They should definitely put. You know what I saw this morning? I saw people complaining that them taking out Vondel, and even some people saying Ashika should be back. That kind of tells you where we're at with COD. They shouldn't even be taking out maps. I agree. They should be full rotation, because if you're able to use any guns in Warzone at this point, just leave all the maps in there. I don't even know what's going on with the game. I hear Blackout's doing really decent right now, but I don't know what they're thinking. And the fact that we're supposed to have a new Call of Duty later this year, I'm kind of worried for the for what's to come. Uh, I'm genuinely concerned what they're gonna do. Did Blackout get removed? The new map, Avalon? I didn't think they removed it because people are still playing it. So if you're saying it got removed, I didn't think it did. And they put in ranked pretty late too this time round. I think they only did it for like this season. They just did it. Oh yeah, see, it's in rotation, which is fine, I guess. But I'm just I'm concerned for what they're trying to, like, what their thinking is in COD. I mean, last night when I looked at their viewership, it was at 14,000, which is probably lower, or the lowest it's been in God only knows how long. I mean, what is it at right now? If we take a look at Warzone and what it's at, 18,000. I mean, it's all right. And if we go from high to low, I mean, it's in a pretty rough spot. And the fact that you can scroll down this much, and you could probably find anyone who's streaming less than 5 viewers, is insane, because over a year ago you had to scroll 10 years before you came across anyone with that. But they weren't they doing that anyway? Weren't they adding bots into the lobbies? I'm pretty sure they said that they were adding bots into them. At least I thought they were. I could be wrong. So maybe we'll have to download Capture too. Do 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 do. I just think COD's hitting a spot where they really have to reconsider and think about the players, like genuinely think about them, because right now it's chalked. It is genuinely gone. I mean, this next COD, whatever they release, people are gonna play it. I'm gonna play it too. But if they don't think about, okay, what are people liking? What are they not liking? What are we gonna implement? What are we gonna keep? What are we not gonna keep? There's so many things that they just gotta keep in the game. And if they don't, they actually might lose more players than what they have been. Um. Do 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 do. How many people have, the ones who like actually were playing hardcore Warzone? How many of them have left? I think a good 90% of them have not even been playing it since Arc Raiders. And even Arc Raiders is dying. An 80 bot, yeah. It kind of just tells you that they don't realize the game is dying unless they do, but they're just trying to say that we have players in there. It's we're in a spot where there are good games, but at the same time there are not good games. True, I think it was decent. I think it was decent, but when you start getting people who, hold on, let me get some background stuff here. When you start getting into the game, and occasionally, like, I think some of the games in Arc Raiders, it is definitely body, and then occasionally it's not even skill-based matchmaking, it's just, I don't even know what you would call it, but like people, I mean, falsifying yourself maybe as, okay, you're friendly, you're trying to kill the queen, the matriarchs, whatever, great, but then like the backstabbing, I guess what I'm trying to say is, for what they've promised in Arc Raiders versus what they've shown, is definitely hindsight. And true, because I guess anyone who's playing it is going to hype up the game anyway. That's what normally happens with any game. Battlefield's the biggest one, right? Battlefield had the same issue. Everyone was so hyped for Battlefield, and then all of a sudden, it took a nosedive. I mean, Crimson Desert's another one, since I'm... What is the... God... games? No. J-God... New games? I mean, J-God had released a whole list of... God, what do you search? J-God... I'm not gonna find this tweet now. Fuck. Wait for Arc Raiders, is it? Is it actually? 26,000 as of right now. Probably late at night is gonna take a deeper dive. I mean, the fact that Counter-Strike has kind of came back again is great. I've thought about diving into League of Legends, but I can't. Internet issues. Grand Theft Auto 5, finished the game. Great game. Loved it. World of Warcraft, I thought about. Like, I want to do games that I just haven't touched in, but I don't want to spend so much to where, like, if I spend, let's say, $120 on World of Warcraft, it's going to be worthless for me, because if I don't continuously play it, I'm not getting my return. I'm not getting my return out of it. Yeah, honestly. I think that's what's getting harder about it, is that what sticks around for a little bit longer? Like, I mean, what's Directive 8020? smallest sliver of hope when the colony ship crash lands on the planet. They are far from being alone. I think I saw this on Steam. It's story based. For one gun is 50 and you get nothing else. I mean, Apex has always been like that, hasn't it? I'm pretty sure Apex has always been like this. I'm pretty sure, for what I know of. It's like Advanced Warfare with care packages, right? If you wanted something, blueprints or otherwise, right? You're kind of playing a guessing game on it. What was that game? Directive what? Directive 8020. Yeah, see, $50 for Directive 8020? I don't know. 25 people have left a review and it's mixed, and it's so skeptical. The strongest game in years. What's this guy saying? Bring back the tension and atmosphere they nailed with Until Dawn. Feels like the closest they've gotten in years. The whole setting abroad, the Cassiopeia ship is creepy as hell. There's a constant feeling that nobody around you can be trusted, especially with the whole alien imitation thing going on. How much more involved the gameplay feels now. It's not just walking around waiting for quick time events anymore. The real-time sections actually add pressure, and some moments that had me genuinely stressed not to screw up. If you're Aliens fans, I mean, I appreciate an Aliens game just as much as the next person. See, but I think people don't understand, not everything needs multiplayer. The game has no multiplayer, less than a 0.1 hour played, and he's complaining about not having a multiplayer. The fact that we're actually hitting... There's so much we're hitting before GTA 6, right? We're hitting high gas prices. Not to bring politics into any of this, by the way. Gas prices, basically the new virus, and whatever else is about to come about that. And we're getting all this right before GTA 6 is insane to me. Oh my god. The thing is, for GTA 6, it's going to be on console first, which is fine because it's always been like that. But for me, I'm not going to buy a console just to get GTA 6, just to play it first. I'd just rather wait a few months. If it's going to be released like 3 months after, I can wait another 3 months. Honestly, it's not that much of a problem. Maybe we are hitting a plateau of not being able to play games. Maybe there is nothing to play until GTA 6 comes out, and then, maybe then, just a sliver of hope. If GTA 6 is living up to the hype that it's supposed to, just maybe, more better games will be coming out. Just maybe. It's actually insane. That's true. Like, but they're gonna be worth so much right now anyway. Like, even if you try to buy it right now, like, they're still overpriced. I think they were overcharging people initially when they were trying to oversell the consoles, like Xbox console. Like, what are we going for? PS5 going for 900. I think it's overpriced. I think they're overpricing it. Not just a decent PC, but you can get a decent PC that's got like the best storage of all time with the best RAM. Graphic, storage, RAM, those three, you're set. Like from Xbox itself, 1 terabyte, $600. All right. From Microsoft, $650. Best Buy is $750, or actually $770. I mean, I'd rather buy a used console from GameStop at $400. Because why would I buy it from Target for $900? This one's a slim edition, which is at $600. And I think I'd rather get the digital too. I'd rather get a digital version of the PS5 rather than the disc, because at least then the game is on and I can just download it wherever I am. So even if I get another console, I just download the game. Yeah, it kind of defeats like the nostalgia of owning the games, the physical versions of it. But it's just so much easier to just carry the console than it is to carry the games right now. You really want the disc version? I thought about the disc version, but I'm like, I think I'd just rather have the digital. I mean, the only issue is the storage, but if you have to put in the disc and you have to download more stuff after you put the disc in, you might as well just get the digital version of it. It just seems so much better than having to buy a disc and then having for everything to re-download again. I should be able to put in a game with the disc and just play it. Personally speaking. Oh, yeah, okay. I mean, that's different. I guess it just depends on what games they are. It just depends on the games. I don't know. Maybe we're at something. But I can't find J God's tweet. I don't know how long ago it was, but he was saying like there's a whole. Oh, maybe he has. Hold on. Maybe he's got an image. He has to have an image of it somewhere. And if he doesn't have an image of it, when was this? March 3rd. There's no way it was this far back. Because he listed out a whole bunch of games that were out for release. The game sold for 30. See, that's called getting buying it for no, what is it? Oh my god. Dude, I'm having a hard time thinking. Oh my god. Oh my god. What am I trying to think of? Oh my god. Getting it for your money's worth, but also, oh shit, I can't. What? I don't know what I'm trying to say. Oh my god. I can't figure out my wording on this. What? Let's do this. Get it for your money's worth is I think the closest I can think of. I can't find his list of games though. We had his whole like bunch of list of games that it was coming out and that could be played and whatnot, and that list was like, it looked really good. The list of games he had. But isn't Mafia out on Thingy as well? Hold on a second. Mafia 2 Definitive 3, but they don't have. How come they don't have the? That's weird. Steam should have had that new Mafia game. Huh. I don't know. I have no idea. But I guess on the flip side of stuff,
The vast majority.
we can do and watch the view botting situation from 2 months ago. Basically, Moist has his own thoughts.
You see on the internet aren't real. The accounts that you interact with, the posts that you see, oftentimes aren't even made by a human being on the other side of the keyboard. The cyberspace is dominated by bots. And unless you've just woken up from a coma, this isn't news to you. Everybody knows that now. It's an accepted part of cruising the World Wide Web, that the shit you see is artificially inflated. And it's become a huge yapping point, a massive topic, specifically dead internet theory, and diving even deeper into the minutia of bots. Cannonballing into the deep end of the pool, you will find viewbots, a topic that often gets very aggressive and accusatory because it is so prevalent across streams.
I mean, how many bots are there on Twitter?
On Twitch, on YouTube, on Kick. Streamers of all shapes and sizes are often using viewbots to...
It's not even viewbots on any streaming site. It's viewbots on anything, technically.
To boost their numbers. It's not some big conspiracy. It's not deep state propaganda or anything like that. It is a provable, real thing that platforms just don't seem to be taking any real action on at all. I could right now go live on Twitch openly stating I'm viewbotting it out the wazoo to fucking 20k viewers, and maybe the worst that would happen is I get like a 24-hour suspension from Twitch. They don't care. They made that push like a year ago about getting bots off the platform, but that lasted for what, 2 fucking days? And then they took like a catastrophic hit to their overall viewer metrics, and I guess they pumped the brakes because at the end of the day, and this is something people say a lot, and it is true, those huge numbers are good for Twitch as well to advertisers, even if the numbers are...
Could Twitch possibly be buying bots just to push out to several thousand higher up streamers just to claim that they're got high viewers?
Even if they know it's botted, phony baloney, fraudulent viewer metrics. It doesn't matter. It makes them more appealing to brands. So it seems like...
And that's the thing of it, right? Everyone's saying that, like, with 300 viewers, 500 viewers, 1,000 viewers, if you have that many people in a chat, right, you should have at least 3/4 of them typing. And if you don't, obviously there's a problem. But the flip side of it being is that a lot of people who stream at night leave their computers, phones, whatever on just so that they're listening and they're technically counted as a viewer, even though it's alert.
They're very hands-off when it comes to doling out big punishments
is it really a bot?
For view bots. It's not exactly a well-kept secret. It's pretty out there in the open that tons of streamers view bot. Now, the reason why I'm yapping about it again is because just yesterday, or maybe it was even earlier today, I don't know, time moves in a weird fucking fashion once you hit your 30s. Everything blends together, your bones fucking creak anytime you walk up or downstairs.
It's true.
Anyway, though, I'll stop bitching and whining about that. I know you're not here to listen to me play a sad song on the world's smallest violin about my deteriorating cartilage. The CEO of Knight Media, Reed, came forward with a post out of nowhere saying that it's time to start viewbotting. That's the title of the post, which is a eye-catching title, no doubt. Very seldom will you hear someone in that kind of position just say the quiet part out loud here about success in the streaming space. And make no mistake, Knight Media is fucking huge. They are one of the top dogs in the YouTuber streamer agency space. They are huge.
I've never even heard of Knight Media.
They represented Mr. Beast for a while. I don't know if they still do, but they have represented...
And yes, they should be typing even if it's 80. I agree. I totally agree.
So it was certainly interesting to see him with a post like this that makes it seem like he's out there saying, everyone's got a viewbot. We got to open Pandora's box. If you're not pooping, you're farting. If you're not using viewbots, you're at a disadvantage. Wake the fuck up, samurai. Time to get viewbots on the horn. But reading the post, it's a little bit different, though ultimately his tone around viewbots does seem to be somewhat positive. What does it take to cut through all the noise on the internet?
You viewbot, of course.
Botting, why shouldn't you? We used to live in a world where if you made great content, algorithms would find an audience for your videos. Now, creators have to clip farm, pay clippers, and sometimes even viewbot to have a better chance of capturing more attention and breaking through the noise.
I mean, technically, it's just adaptability, isn't it? Like, you have to adapt to what the space is. So if one person starts doing it and you notice a trend going with it, everyone's got to start doing it. Because if you're not doing it, then you're behind on the trend, and how are you supposed to make it?
This is especially true on platforms like Twitch, where viewbotting can surface you on the front page of popular streaming categories. Off rip, this is some turbo doomer shit because it kind of positions it as like your only option if you're just getting started. Oh, there used to be a time where if you made great content, you could get found, but those times are way behind us in the shitter now. It's gone. That's a era long forgotten, like the saber-toothed tiger. Now, if you want to cut through the noise, you gotta
do what you gotta do.
Clippers, or Lord help us, even viewbot. You gotta get down and dirty in the pig pen. It's the only way. When that's not true. You can still make great content and get found. It does happen. I think the best example of that is Queso. I would be shocked to learn Queso viewbotted at any point in his life.
Honestly, if Queso is caught for viewbotting, I would genuinely be shocked. I'd like, that's the last person I would think who'd be viewbotting.
Think the guy could find a viewbot website or provider. I genuinely don't think he would even know where to begin with something like that. And he has blown up solely because he makes good content. He cut through the noise. And this is something I've always said, luck is a huge part of it. It is. It just is. But what he is right about is that in the current day and age, there is an alternative that doesn't rely as much on RNG, and that is pay to win. You can stand a better chance of standing out in the oversaturation of content creation.
Honestly, wait, hold on. If you're saying he doesn't count because his viewers let him roast for money, I would take that any day.
That's to float
I would take that any day.
Categories or pay for viewbots.
He can joke about it too. That's the thing.
From your streams, so you could boost up numbers on, you know, a wacky moment or something, and have it like explode elsewhere because you inflated the numbers through viewbots. So then people could find your stream and maybe organically grow it that way. But you still viewbotted in order to boost a clip that led people to.
That's why TTS exists.
Like there are.
For the roast, that's what it exists for.
Rely as much on luck, because if you just have money to start and just start buying views, it does help put you in front of more eyes. It's something that's very common, especially on Twitter. But at the end of the day, I just don't like this mentality that
I'm not even gonna touch that.
Here of, well, everyone else is cheating, so I should too. And he's trying to make like a strong argument that everyone else is doing it. Content alone, it could be the most slapping, banging content ever. It's not good enough. It's all about the distribution method now, which is dominated through bots and shit like that. So really, you got to think about this strategy of using bots. I just don't like how he's positioning bots as a strategy instead of calling it what it really is, which is cheating. Like, yes, you can gamify the distribution and shit through bots. Everyone fucking knows that. But I just don't think it's something that should be outwardly encouraged. And it's really weird that the CEO of Knight Media, one of the biggest agencies in the space, especially for streamers, is having this kind of viewpoint. Like, his title isn't exactly indicative of his thoughts, because he does say, like, this is a problem, this is an exploit, but he speaks about it like, this exploit exists, so you have to use this now. It's like, you really should, like, almost that it's a necessity. And I just don't like that perspective nor that mentality. I just think there's a reason why this topic on viewbots is always so passionate from so many
Because
people.
everyone is doing
Because
it, but you
viewbots
just can't
fucking
prove
suck.
it. You can't prove
Nobody
it, but
likes
no one
that.
wants to prove it.
It is just
They don't want to show their stats.
completely dog shit norm right now. And I don't think it needs to be even more normalized. But it's not some requirement or anything like that. Reed then goes on to make a mention of advertisers and viewbots. Do advertisers
There's
have
a
any
lot of drama on
tracking
X
bot
recently.
engagement, and
Well,
why isn't
duh.
Twitch cracking down on this at all? Those are two really good questions.
Honestly, if Twitch was honest about cracking down on this, they would have cracked down on it long ago, and they would have stopped the viewbotting situation. They genuinely would have stopped it sooner rather than later. But the fact that the CEO, what's the name, Don Clancy or whatever it is, he's like, he talks about it, but he dismisses it very quickly.
Answer.
It's very strange.
Do advertisers have a way of tracking botted engagement? Is a big. Nobody fucking knows. My gut tells me there's no way advertisers would have any clue, because how would they? How would they distinguish between authentic and real viewers through just a number plastered on a stream? It'd be entirely on Twitch to take care of the bots and get that number to be where it's like the authentic viewers and not just like, fraudulent ones. I don't see how they could ever possibly know what's real and what's fake based on just the publicly available information, and I doubt Twitch is behind the
You
scenes
have
saying,
to show
"Okay,
your
so
stats. I think if you don't show your analytics, if you don't even prove that there's that little jump there, if you can't prove that there isn't a jump, then you're viewbotting. Or, yeah, right? If you can prove that there is no jump, you're not viewbotting. If there is a jump, it's viewbotting. That's what it is.
Your advertisement was played in front of
It's an
1
exponential
million,
jump. Like, you can
concurrent
tell
viewers
when it
over the course
happens.
of this campaign. Of that, about 15K were real human beings. We really appreciate your business. Like, I highly doubt that fucking happens, right? Like, it doesn't happen on a streamer basis with sponsors either. It's like if a streamer is botting his stream up to like 5K, but really he only has like 1,000 real viewers there, and he works with a brand, and he sells to this brand at the 5K concurrent viewers, he's making a lot of extra money versus if he sold at his real 1K, and now the brand gets put in front of what they believe is 5,000 people, but
it's only
there's actually
1,000.
4,000 bots with only 1,000 real people there. So maybe the campaign only sees them make like 3 fucking sales. Like, man, Perry Poutine Gotcha Game only got 3 clicks through this guy's stream, even though he has 5K concurrent viewers. What's going on here? And then you can maybe speculate and surmise that, okay, he's botting. But then you'd also never really know for sure, because you could also say, like, okay, maybe his community's just not interested in this gotcha game.
True. That's very
these
true.
Brands, I don't think, have any idea, is the point I'm making. I don't see how they would. It's entirely on Twitch to combat the bots, and I don't think there's a way or a tool that these brands have access to that normal people don't, that lets them see real versus fake viewers. And then to Reed's second question about why does Twitch not crack down on it, I think everyone knows, because Twitch also benefits from these hugely inflated numbers.
Yes, they do, actually. They
see
benefit a
of
whole
upside
lot.
to these massive numbers being housed on Twitch. I think that's pretty clear. Probably don't need to dive any deeper on that. And it is something that he starts to tackle in his next section here about platforms needing to take action.
But
He
who
goes on
isn't
to
botting?
talk
That's the
about,
question.
how prevalent
They
the
gotta
botting
figure that out
problem
first. Who
is,
isn't
as well
versus
as
who
the
is.
reluctance from platforms to act on it, believing that the more views there are, the better things look for advertisers, which many people agree with. And again, that probably is the simple truth of it. If these numbers are huge, the platforms are probably very happy, because then it's more appealing to advertisers. It could end up with more money to the platform itself. I think it really
That's
is
like
that simple.
advertising
Now, it's
to
this section that ties
a
directly
billion
into
people,
the
and half of those people,
eye-catching
500 million,
title
are
that he used here
viewbotters
for this piece.
on TV.
If everyone else is doing it, should you? I would never explicitly say you should bot your views on Twitch, other than in the title of this article. But the reality is, if you're not view botting and everyone else is, you're at a disadvantage. When you're competing in a category where you're buried if you don't have 500 plus viewers, maybe shifting your strategy to paying clippers and buying bots helps a streamer break through. I wanted to see what it would cost to bot a stream, and for $180 a week on ViewBotter, I can get 1,500 followers, 225 chatters, and 750 concurrent viewers. Not bad for less than $800 a month, and these companies accept crypto payments.
Oh my god.
So he's saying that he's not actively advocating for viewbotting your channel, but if you're not, well, you got your own dick in your butt. Like, everyone around you is doing it.
Yeah.
Maybe you should shift your strategy. I don't know. To me, that feels like he is advocating for it. Maybe I'm on the crack pipe. He's pointing out a real problem, that these platforms don't enforce it.
Yeah, but if it's cheaper to do it that way, why wouldn't you?
So the precedent has been set that there's no actual consequences, but it does seem like he's saying you really should viewbot your streams if you want to succeed. And he does prop it up as a legitimate strategy and even insinuates that it's not like super expensive, you know, saying, you know, not bad for less than $800 a month. Look at this huge head start you can get. Really should be something to consider. And like, I get it. It is something that people obviously consider and pull the trigger on, no doubt. But it's not exactly something that I think should be encouraged either. It sucks.
True, but I just realized if it's costing you $180 a week, less than $800 a month, what is your return when you stream? Because of the amount of ads you would have, the amount of people, chatters, your average viewership, what would be your return from Twitch if you're view botting? If they're real people, obviously your revenue is going to go up. But if you're view botting, is it still counting it for the same?
Like,
am I making sense here?
Bad practice, and there's a reason why this is such a big topic, because people don't like view botters. It's not something that I think should be talked about in a manner that feels like it's positive and encouraging, and even setting it up as like maybe even your only option if you want to stand out, because as Reed said multiple times, good content isn't good enough. You got to really consider distribution, and distribution viewbots can really do wonders for. I don't know. To me, it just rubs me the wrong way. He then closes by talking about viewbot detection and how Twitch CEO mentioned it's a game of cat and mouse, and that really there's not a whole lot of like great information that he could find.
There's ways of figuring this out, bro.
Can detect viewbots or anything like that. And then he finishes the big takeaway.
In a day and age of where we have artificial intelligence to figure out stuff for us, they can figure out if someone's viewbotting or not. Don't tell me they can't.
We've entered an era where good content alone isn't enough, distribution tactics are. When clipping, paid amplification, and even bots can artificially push you up the rankings, the playing field starts to tilt toward whoever is willing to game it. Twitch's detection tools feel reactive at best, and advertisers don't seem to have a reliable way to verify what's real. If botting becomes normalized, creators face a brutal question. Compete clean and risk invisibility, or bend the rules to survive. Long term, though, this erodes trust in the entire ecosystem. Again, he drives that point home about good content alone isn't enough. It's all about distribution tactics, and I just firmly disagree. Good content alone is sometimes enough.
Yes.
But again, it does take luck. It does. It always has.
And it takes a long time before that good content that you think is good, that gets distributed properly, reaches the right people.
Always will. Distribution tactics, though, he's right, can be gamified and boost your shit and immediately give you a better chance, so you're not overly reliant on luck. If you'd rather focus instead on pay-to-win mechanics through, like, clippers and viewbots and stuff like that, then you would be entering the Thunderdome competing head-to-head, toe-to-toe with countless others who are doing that daily. That is very, very common. And in many, many cases, it's hard to tell if it's real or fake. So it is a legitimate problem, and it sucks that platforms don't do anything about it. He's not wrong about the core. That there is a huge problem because these platforms don't crack down on viewbots. Now everyone fucking does it seems. And it fucking blows. And I imagine he's right that it is a very real consideration for tons of streamers. Like, well, why would I even bother trying to do this legitimately when everyone else is
doing
cheating?
it, yeah.
Everyone else is viewbotting, so why wouldn't I? And it's hard to argue, like, because it's morally correct to, you know, play fair. It would be hard to make someone be like, okay, then I'll do that and go nowhere unless I get fucking crazy lucky. When the alternative
it's like sports betting.
Is apparently like cheap view bots that give them a better chance. It's something that he's not wrong about in his assessment here. Again, I just find it weird that it feels like he's speaking on it like almost positively, like you're at a huge disadvantage, you really need to think about this the strategy that actually isn't all that expensive if you want to compete on an even playing field. Because at the end of the day, I don't think viewbots are something that should be encouraged. I don't think it should be twisted to the point where people consider viewbots like a strategy as opposed to just cheating. Because viewbots are bad for everyone. There's a reason why it's such a passionate topic for so many people. Because it sucks. It sucks for the people that aren't doing it, and it sucks for viewers too. Like, viewbots are just shitty overall, like, genuinely. So, like, it's not something that I'd like to see more people start being like, yeah, let's start really thinking about doing more viewbotting.
Let's do it.
There's not already enough.
Please, that's
anyway,
not taken out of context.
This was a very interesting post, to say the least, and I just wanted to yap about it. That's really about it. See ya.
I mean, viewbotting has been the biggest scandal of all time, but also who's viewbotting more on what platform? Are people streaming on Kick viewbotting more? Is it people on Twitch, or is it people on YouTube? I don't even know where else. Maybe Twitter, TikTok? But who's really viewbotting more and where? That's what I want to know. Oh, there's that. Yeah, we're not going to look at Honey being the biggest scam right now. Hell no. I just think we've hit a day and age where viewbotting is probably your biggest and best option to make it to where you want without having to worry about, I guess, if you will, competitors. But streaming itself is competitive anyway. I mean, people go in and out of streams all the time. I'm one of them. Like, I'll watch for a little bit. I'm like, okay, decent enough. I move on to the next one. It happens every single time. Like, what are you going to do about it? I think it's funnier when you have, like, if you have 300 people in your chat and you have viewbotters in there, and that viewbotter or viewbot chats, and you read it, and you know it's not real because you recognize the name. So what you do is you read it, and you're like, okay, no, that guy's got to go. And no one thinks twice about, okay, was it a real person or was it a viewbotter? Or maybe some people do. I don't know. I can't predict, I can't control, I can't say, I can't speak amongst most. It's just very interesting on how people are either do or do not viewbot. I don't know. And then speaking of Queso, this man is the last honest streamer.
For whatever reason, the internet loves the spectacle. The bigger it is, the louder.
For whatever
it is,
reason, he is the
more
last
expensive it
honest
looks, the
streamer.
better it performs. Look at the top of Twitch right now. It's flooded with million-dollar mansions, celebrity subathons, streamers buying their 10th dream car. Everything seems to be built around the question, how much money can we burn on camera? And then there's this guy. Queso is interesting, because on paper, he's doing almost everything wrong. His production quality is kind of garbage.
Queso, where'd he come from? 200,000 viewers playing Fall Guys yesterday.
Yeah, it wasn't even zoomed in or cropped.
His setup isn't designed to be some massive content machine. Half the time he's live, he's playing some random game most people have never even heard of.
Your costume sucks, kid.
I mean, when your entire job is getting people to watch you, you don't turn down a Mr. Beast video. But Queso did.
Queso did not respond to my message.
And somehow, despite doing the opposite of what the internet tells creators
What
they're
was
supposed
that?
to do, he's still
Wait,
one of the
wait,
biggest
wait.
streamers on the planet.
What was
the opposite
that?
of what the internet tells creators.
I'm sorry.
Queso did not respond to my message.
And somehow, despite doing the opposite of what the
What is this game? That
internet tells creators they're supposed to do, he's still one of the biggest streamers on the planet.
I don't
How does that
want to know, but I want to
The
know.
honest answer is that none of this should have worked, because Queso's had the odds stacked against him since day one. Case Baker grew up in rural Arkansas. His hometown has a population just over 1,500. It's the kind of place where a new Walmart makes the front page, and where the churches outnumber the stoplights. Towns like that don't have a lot going on. So, as a quiet kid, Case did what quiet kids in quiet towns have always done. He
Play
dissipated
outside.
to a screen. In this case, a PlayStation. Call of Duty on repeat. And when YouTube started blowing up in the early 2010s, he was right there watching Nate Shot and the Optic guys build something that didn't exist a decade earlier. He watched gaming turn from a thing you did after school into an actual career.
Well, how does this sound? Making a living and even a small fortune just playing video games.
You know what I hate? because they showed that news broadcast. You know what I hate is a lot of us grew up with that thing of we want to grow up just to be able to get paid to play video games, which a lot of people have been. But then a lot of people are like, well, you love video games, why aren't you doing it? I tried to, motherfucker, but the problem is, you told me to do something else. And I was like, yeah, I guess I should do that, huh? Because you didn't have enough faith in me, and now you're saying, oh, I should have done that.
His names were clearing their parents' annual salaries in a single
Maybe it's
week.
just me.
And after watching that, it became Case's dream job.
Maybe it's just me.
The problem was, he knew the odds, especially in his situation. His Wi-Fi was barely good enough to even watch YouTube. Uploading to it or streaming on Twitch, forget it. So he buried it. He graduated high school, bounced between jobs, often working 2 at a time, just to keep the lights on. For 6 years. 6 years of clocking in somewhere he didn't want to be. 6 years of watching other guys his age blow up online doing the exact same thing he'd given up on. By the end of it, Case was broke, burnout. He was 1 bad week away from walking into a recruiter's office and signing up for the military.
I was only laughing because this picture is, it looks photoshopped with his head, like, just right here. It looks too photoshopped.
Burnout. He was 1 bad week away from walking into a recruiter's office and signing up for the military. Then his mom stepped in, and she asked him the question that changed everything. Why not take a real shot at the whole streaming thing? What's the
His
worst
mom
that
has been the biggest supporter I have ever seen. I have not seen any other person's parent be a big supporter other than his mom.
happens? Now, streaming is one of the most competitive jobs on the
Less
planet.
up to her.
And if you're like Case, trying to pursue it full time, you need to understand, there's levels to this. Level 1, you can quit your job. Level 2, you're living large. And at level 3, you're the top 1% of the top 1%. Now, there's no direct translation from Twitch viewers to money. So for the sake of the example, we're gonna say you reach level 1 at around 100 viewers. Once you're there, you can take the leap to streaming full time, which getting there
Technically.
sounds totally reasonable. It's not. Somehow convincing 100 people to watch you live is brutal. In the past year, 18.4 million people opened up Twitch and broadcasted live on the platform. I want you to guess how many of them actually made it to level 1. Seriously, throw a number out there. The answer is 165,536.
Damn.
That's less than 1%. For every person who gets to level 1, there's 100 that don't. Every big streamer you see today spent days, weeks, if not months streaming to an audience of 0. I mean, take Jinxie for example. He streamed to just 5 viewers for a year and a half before he ever made it.
5 viewers? He's grinding!
And I'm throwing all of these numbers at you for a reason, because without them, you wouldn't understand how truly insane what happens next is.
But sometimes you shouldn't look at your
I hate to
numbers.
interrupt myself here, but let's say you're like Queso and don't love your day job. Maybe you're not all that interested in streaming, but you've got a business idea and just don't know where to actually start. Well, let me tell you about WAP. WAP is the world's largest internet market. It's where you
Hey,
go to
bro, I'm sorry, but
create.com to start your
I
business
gotta skip
today.
that ad.
Because in like 24 hours, y'all took me from nothing to crazy.
You see, Queso hit level 1 in the first hour of his first ever stream, and he didn't just get lucky.
Hey, y'all came through deep from the top, man.
In the days before he went live for the first time, Queso was already laying the groundwork. He spent days filming and editing clips of him playing NBA 2K23. And on September 10th, 2022, he uploaded 22 videos to TikTok. The next morning, he woke up to over 10,000 followers and a comment section flooded with one question. So that night, he went live for the first time and the floodgates opened.
When I look down and I see 126 viewers, bro, I cannot believe it.
From
Yeah,
that
it's
day
a
on,
blessing,
he followed the same
honestly.
routine. Clock into the 9 to 5, hit the second job, cut a few lawns, then come home and stream until he couldn't keep his eyes open.
I don't want to go sleep, man. I want to go to work, man. I want another build, dog. All I want to do is make builds and play 2K forever. Why do I gotta go work?
After each stream, he'd
Valid,
find the best moments,
honestly.
clip them, and fire them back onto TikTok. The loop fed itself. Inside a week, he'd blown past 100,000 TikTok followers. Every stream was pulling 500 plus concurrent viewers.
Dude said call the boss quit, this your life now, cuz? Dude, imagine.
And the number that actually mattered, he was making more money streaming at night than he was at his day job.
And no, y'all literally just donated more than I make in a week in one night. Bruh.
But Queso kept his head on straight. What shows up overnight can also disappear overnight. So before he quit his day job, he needed proof that this wasn't a fluke. So he made a deal with his chat, hit 5,000 Twitch subs, and he'd quit his job.
This a day we're gonna remember forever, you feel me? This a day we gonna remember forever. You know I love y'all, man. Thank you, bro. It's all y'all, you feel me? Thank you, man. Full-time Queso in the building, and I'm laying in their mouth, too.
Within just a few weeks, it was a done deal. Case's fan base was new, but dedicated, and they wanted to see him pursue this thing full time.
Like I
You
said,
know-
I've been dreaming of wanting to, be a
sometimes your biggest supporters are your biggest supporters, and it's not even that when you have your biggest haters, they're your biggest supporters too. But when normally your OGs, they will stick with you till whatever it is. They are the ones that you keep around for however long it may be.
Streamer or content creator since I was 13 years old. I finally took the leap, bro. I finally took the leap, and y'all came through for you boys. For real, y'all came through crazy.
Now, it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows from here. His internet was still garbage, like genuinely bad. Streams would lag or even just end because the connection bottomed out.
Do you see what I deal with?
And when you're trying to build an audience, that's the kiss of death. If your stream ends, they move on to the next.
Yeah, it's true.
Eventually, numbers started slipping. For a couple months, it looked like maybe the whole thing was a fluke. Maybe the bubble had already popped.
You know, I seen the numbers when I very first started. You know, the hype was there because I first blew up. Had like 800 viewers every night. Then y'all seen it dip to like, 100, 150. I was like, I gotta do something different or it's gonna go under.
Then he picked up a different game, Hogwarts Legacy. It was kind of a weird choice. It had a totally different audience from the 2K crowd he'd built, but he streamed it anyway, clipped a moment, and posted it to TikTok.
Well, I see the sun peeking through the window a little bit. Sleep schedule gone now. Gotta make Hufflepuff proud though. Hey, it is what it is, man.
That one video alone pulled in over 18 million views. Just like that, he's back. Viewership climbs to 600, keeps climbing, month after month, every week another clip going viral, another wave of new viewers funneling straight to the stream. The snowball was rolling again. By May 2023, Queso was averaging over 2,500 viewers, a legitimate name in streaming culture.
If you don't know who he is, you gotta be living under a rock.
And this is level 2. At level 2, you're starting to live large. You're in big boy money territory. At this point, you're not going to bed afraid the whole thing vanishes overnight. With over 2,500 average viewers, Queso was sitting somewhere just inside the top 1,000 streamers on Twitch. Incredible by any measure, but remember, Twitch is stacked top heavy. And when I say top heavy, I mean it. At any given moment, there are about 3 million users on Twitch watching content.
Okay, I'll say real quick. I think his chat is like the biggest rage baiters of all time, by the way. His chat is like rage bait fanatics for whatever reason.
Break down the viewer distribution by channel rank, the picture gets pretty clear. Out of the millions of channels on the platform, the top 250 pull over half the viewership. That's the difference between level 2 and level 3. While it seems like the easiest jump on the ladder here, it's actually the most difficult. There's a specific blueprint nearly every streamer has followed to make this jump. Here, I'll break it down for you. What you're looking at right now is 5 of the biggest streamers on the planet. Each at the moment they were averaging exactly 2,500
Ninja, Aiden Ross, Kai Cenat, XQC, Speed, okay.
viewers. Pay attention
I had to
the
pause
setup.
it just to see.
None of them are exciting. The rooms are pretty basic, the camera quality kinda sucks. There's no production value. They look like what they are. Just guys streaming from their bedrooms.
True.
Now fast forward to when those same streamers are pulling 10,000 viewers a night. Everything's changed. The lighting's dialed in. The cameras are crisp. The rooms look intentional. This is the blueprint kicking in. And it all starts with one realization. At this level, streaming isn't just a job anymore. It's a business. And like a business, the goal is to make as much money as possible. The internet, for whatever reason, craves a spectacle. And the spectacle game is pretty easy to play. You've kind of just got to spend money to make money. The setup is just the start. Next comes the move to LA. Buy the mansion, drop the I just bought my dream car video.
You don't have to
Hire
move to
1,000
LA, by the
editors to
way.
pump out clips around the clock. By the time you're clearing 50,000 viewers, it turns into an optimization race. Every stream, every upload, every second of content is engineered to milk the cash cow. The longer you stay on the top, the more efficient it becomes. And weirdly, the more the internet praises you for it. But the spectacle only works if people are still looking. Relevancy is the whole game. The second your numbers dip, the money goes with it. So you're forced to stay visible. You hit the podcast circuit, impulsive on Monday and blank on Thursday. You show up to every mainstream streamer event. You become a permanent fixture in the conversation because the conversation is the product. And the fastest way to stay in the conversation is to stand next to someone bigger than you. Take those same 5 streamers and pull up their
Honestly, he's right. It's crazy the amount of people who don't stream anymore. 9 times out of 10, they'll do a podcast hoping people will continue to watch them. But sometimes their podcasts don't do well either.
Streams of all
Crazy.
time. Ninja, Fortnite with Drake, Aiden Ross, the Donald Trump interview, Kai Cenat, the LeBron stream that pulled over 1 million concurrent viewers. That's the blueprint. I'm not necessarily saying it's bulletproof or guaranteed, but it's the safe route. Every streamer who's made it to the top 250 has run some version of that exact playbook based on constant evolution. But Queso ignored this approach altogether. His strategy is quite literally the opposite in just about every possible sense. The last time we talked about Queso, he was fresh off of Hogwarts, averaging 2,500 viewers. So
for
let's
him,
run that same
Jesus.
comparison from earlier and fast forward to when he's at 10,000.
Which he's now averaging
Not
like
much has changed.
50,000.
I mean, sure, he did buy a new house, but he moved from a trap house to a trailer just across town. Either way, at the end of the day, his computer monitor is still being held up with a vacuum cleaner.
If I don't
Jesus
have the vacuum
Christ.
cleaner holding up the back of the monitor, it'll fall over. And then back here are my PCs. You can tell they're being held up by books
Oh
as
my
well.
god.
And the camera quality seems to somehow have gotten worse.
Chat, my stream quality is actually so crispy. It looks like it's in 4K.
Since Hogwarts, he's continued to stream 4 to 6 nights a week. Same time, same chat, rotating through whatever random games he feels like. Supermarket Simulator, Granny, Dress to Impress.
What is this? Why is it on my front page?
Install.
Games a normal person wouldn't think to stream. But then you watch for 5 minutes and you start to get it.
This is the funniest dude on the internet right now.
Just plays the most random
Everything.
games.
Queso, where'd he come from? 200,000 viewers playing Fall Guys yesterday.
Because the game isn't the point. The chat isn't there for the games. They're there to watch him fall out of his chair for the 10th
They're there
time
for
this
him.
month and narrate it like he's describing a car accident.
Yo, that almost killed me. Oh! Yo! Chat! The chair is dead, dude!
To watch him get jump scared by a horror game and scream at a volume that blows out the mic. And that's why it worked. By January of 2024, Queso was averaging over 50,000 concurrent viewers every single night, making him the number 3 ranked streamer on all of Twitch.
Like, my mind is weird. Like, in my mind, I still don't have the thought of, like, I still made it. Yeah. Because in my mind, I feel like if I have that thought and tell myself that I made it, you don't want to get, like, lazy. It's going to go downhill. Yeah. You know what I mean?
By every metric the industry actually uses, Queso is underperforming. He's leaving growth on the table at every possible turn. He doesn't invest in new setups, he doesn't upgrade his gear, and has no real plan to optimize himself. Every analyst will tell you he could be twice the size he is if he just ran the playbook like
I have no doubt he could be twice the size he is as of right now. But the fact that he's staying true to who he is kind of just tells you everything about him.
everyone else. And honestly, they're probably right. But here's the thing. Queso never looked at any of that and felt like he was losing something. Buying a house in the hills, pulling up in a supercar, collecting all the things that say you've made it. None of that ever seemed to be important to him. And there's nothing wrong with wanting those things. A lot of creators go in with exactly that goal in mind. But Queso sits in this rare category of someone who actually reached the I made it moment and genuinely doesn't want it.
It was never about, like, being huge. Just, like, because it didn't matter the money. You know, I just wanted to do what I loved for a living. I could be, you know, pinching pennies to make it. But as long as I get to stream every day instead of go to work, I was cool with that. you know?
But to be clear, it's not like he's allergic to money. He's the number 3 streamer on Twitch. The guy is doing just fine. But there's a difference between making money and squeezing every last cent out of your audience. He's never done any kind of subathon, he doesn't say yes to every brand that comes knocking, and he doesn't manufacture drama to give the numbers a little bump.
True.
The way he sees it, you can't leave money on the table if it was never what you sat down for.
Some of my most favorite jobs I ever had were the jobs where I was making pennies. Yo, I'm not even finna lie to y'all. I think y'all just donated more than my week's paycheck in one night. I'm talking about sitting in the parking lot of the dollar store, having to call my mom, be like, hey, can you spot me $50 for food for the rest of the week?
Jesus.
You know what? I was happy. Like, if I could turn this into something and just be able to do this with y'all every day, that'd be a dream come true. Yeah, I was broke.
You got to remember that, like you just said, he was broke, but his mom has been the biggest supporter of all time from day one.
But it was alright, because the job was cool. Dude, I'm not worried about Twitch ad revenue. I would rather people have a good viewing experience than make an extra, you know,
$5.
a month.
Yeah.
So that's the money half of the blueprint. The mansion, the supercar, the optimization strategy. But the blueprint isn't only about money. The other half of the blueprint is relevancy. The streaming world has a short memory, and the way you fight that is by staying in the conversation. Podcasts, events, collabs, it all comes down to the same idea. Stand next to someone bigger than you, and you get to share some of their spotlight. Well, if you thought he was underperforming on the money side of the blueprint, just listen to this. In 3 years as one of the biggest streamers on the planet, he's done exactly one traditional collab. Jinxie.
What's the furthest you've ever traveled?
Florida, and that was one time to go to Jinxie's house.
And that collab is almost word for word the only existing footage of Queso outside of his own house.
My friend brought this up yesterday to me when we were chilling. He said it's crazy that Jinxie literally has the only recorded footage of me outside of my own stream setup. Like, he is the only one. that's gotten me out of my room.
Matter of
Good
fact,
for
it was
him,
the
though.
first time he'd ever left the state he was born in.
So this is the first time you've ever been out of like Florida or out of Arkansas? My bad. Wow.
It's just, I don't know, I be getting homesick. I get away from home for too long. I'm just, man, I don't know.
Over the last 3 years, Queso has won 5 different awards.
And the streamer award goes to
Queso.
He hasn't shown up to a single one in person.
Mr. Beast tweeted you? Oh, yeah, I talked to him, yeah. I can't even go on a Mr. Beast video due to fear of airplanes.
Oh my gosh.
Ain't that bad, chat?
According to the blueprint, all of those things just come with the territory of being in the top 1%. But Queso is avoiding all of it. And when you stack it all up, not going to award shows, turning down the collabs, even the fact that he's only left the state of Arkansas once, you start to wonder if there's more to it than just not caring.
Chat, I didn't tell y'all this, bro. When I was changing setups to go from the trap house into the trailer, I was literally a mental wreck for like a week straight. Because I don't know if anybody else has this, but dude, I have like some form of horrific OCD that I've had for years, that if something even minor changes, I'm gonna die.
Oh, I
See,
feel that.
OCD
I
is
feel
one of
that.
the most misunderstood conditions out there. People hear the word and picture someone who just likes things clean and organized. And while that can be a part of it, that's not exactly what it is. At its core, OCD is anxiety. For Queso, moving into a new house meant moving into an environment that was full of variables his brain hadn't had the chance to map out yet.
Like when I take my hat off and put it on the counter, same spot every night.
Mhm.
If it goes in a different spot,
It's
I'm dead.
crazy.
Everything becomes unpredictable. And for someone with OCD, an unpredictable environment is one thing that can't be controlled.
Yep.
Each unknown stacks on top of the last until his brain is sent into overdrive.
Chat, here's some lore for you. Every time I would leave to work in the morning, I would go outside my house and I would have to check that my doorknob was locked 37 times.
Yeah.
I would have to start my drive to work, take a block back around to my house, and check it another 11 times.
I get it.
And then I could go to work.
I get it.
Which explains why his setup has barely changed over the years. It's one of the places where his brain already knows the answers to all the questions. It's his rules, at his pace, all in an environment that makes him most comfortable. But that need for predictability doesn't stay contained to his house. It follows him everywhere.
I went out in public 3 times in a row. I got recognized all 3 times. I never went outside again, bro.
Jesus,
like some
man.
people, bro, came up like, hey, yo, can I get a picture? Everybody started looking. I'm like, oh, man. Dude,
I started.
I was about to pass out,
Uh-huh.
man.
Outside of that room, he controls nothing. Who's around him, how they got there, whether someone grabs his shoulder before he sees it coming. None of it is up to him.
I don't go out in public. I don't. Never.
When he's at home, it's easier to manage because, well, he's in his own house. But in public, there's no way to make the unknown stop. It's not.
I think people have a hard time understanding this kind of thing, but also they're like, no, you should go out more. I'm like, sometimes you just can't.
Not only uncomfortable, but also insanely overwhelming.
You would have a better chance of actually winning the Powerball lottery than ever seeing me in public. That's how rare it is. No joke.
The blueprint says the path forward revolves around a constant state of evolution. The more you change, the newer things are, the more excited people are to watch. But for Queso, that path has never really been accessible the same way it is for everyone else. And yet, here he is.
Literally almost 1,000 away from 10 million. Say it ain't so. This is a moment in history? No, this is a moment in history.
Behind everything, the awards, the numbers, the journey from a rice mill to the number 3 spot on Twitch, almost nothing has actually changed.
You definitely gonna do this full time? Hey, I hope so, CJ. That'd be a dream come true for you, boy, man. Maybe my parents don't have to work no more either. That'd be a dream come true too, bro.
He's been grounded in the
That's the
fact
dream.
that streaming was never about being the very best. It was always about building a life worth living, for himself and for the people he loves.
Wait, Mom, we're about to hit 10 million. I can't believe what I'm seeing.
Oh my goodness.
I can't believe what I'm seeing. We about to hit 10 million! No way we're actually about to hit it. We hit 10 million, baby!
His biggest supporter, man. It gives me goosebumps.
His mom was there before any of this made sense.
She brought me some balloons in here. Yo! She brought me some balloons. Balloons.
You can't see it.
Get a pose in there with it.
Before all of the awards and money, before tens of thousands of people were waiting for him to go live, she was the only one who pushed him to try streaming in the first place.
That's a damn diamond play button! this? What? It
What?
wouldn't be possible without y'all, Chad. And you know
She's
what else
had
it
that
wouldn't
for
be
him?
possible without? My mom. Come stand in front of the camera. Look at that.
And his dad, the man who spent his whole life doing the kind of work nobody claps for.
My dad, for example, like, dude, his whole life just working. He's had multiple back surgeries, multiple wrist surgeries, multiple foot surgeries, all from just working his whole life.
The man he watched and worked alongside with do it with no complaints.
I worked with my dad, and we were both maintenance men. Maintenance ain't easy work. You know, you're crawling under sinks, you're changing faucets, you're crawling up in attics, you know, all that, just nasty.
The same man that taught him how to work was eventually the one who told him to quit his regular job and do what he loved.
I remember the night we hit 5,000. I was like, all right, tomorrow I'm gonna call my boss. I remember I got him to call because I was scared. Like, hey, boss, you know, I'm playing video games for a living. But it'd sound better coming from my dad because, you know, my dad was essentially like his right-hand man.
Yep.
But yeah.
So when streaming became a reality, he made sure that the two people who spent their lives building him up never had to work again.
What has been like the most fulfilling thing that you've run into in your career?
Just that everybody gets to chill.
Yeah.
And they have to get away from the jobs they hated and everything like that, and we can all just chill and do this. That's the best thing. I was gonna say they're retired because they do, because you know they don't want to just chill and do nothing. They do a lot of stuff for me. Like my dad, if I need something to go get or something, he goes and gets it. My mom handles all the background, like all of it.
If you ask Case, that's the whole story right there. In a world where overnight success has a way of quietly hollowing people out, Queso never let any of it change him.
The only thing I want to be is a place for people to go for 4 hours a night, forget about life, you know, crack some jokes, you know, have a good time, and just chill out.
And that's why
Just like how it was with the old days when you were gaming with your friends, right?
The most. He turned his dream into real life. He helped his family stop working. He became the place he always wanted to be for others. So whatever happens next is just the icing on the cake.
Nah, this is well done.
I've been dreaming of this since I was a kid, bro. Y'all for real low-key making dreams come true, bro.
Honestly, it kind of gives you hope, but at the same time, you need a really good support system. That's the only way this kind of stuff works out, to be honest. Just a really good support system. I'm not lying, like, could you imagine if you had, like, the biggest supporters of all time doing this? I'm not talking about, like, just your mom, just your, like, you actually had support. Like, they weren't just saying, like, for example, I get the biggest, oh, you're making money today? Like, how do you answer that question? Like, money comes and goes, but if it's something you enjoy, technically, I wouldn't care about it. Yeah, it's the one thing that you need to live, but I don't need it to be like the drive. What's the drive? The drive is that everyone gets to just have a good time, like you said. Maybe it's just me. It's a very interesting thought process, mindset, you know. Just something to keep in thinking about. Oh. Yeah. That is it. Well, what's it right now? Alright. Well, another day, another nickel. We'll be here for it. Tomorrow's another one of those. I'll catch y'all later. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for caring. Thank you for being here. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. I'll see you tomorrow.